Hear me now. More fire.
Hello, welcome back everybody to this edition of Super Wednesday Live. I am truly honored and blessed to know some great individuals in the salsa community. And one of the nicest, most humble one is our guest today. I am honored to present to you, those who don't know, because everybody knows, Bianca Chapman.
Oh, Brenda, you're going to make me cry.
Okay. All right. Bianca Chapman. Welcome to our show. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be a part of, what we have going on here. Just kind of catching up with everybody and seeing where they are, what they're doing, what they've been doing, who they are, and where they're headed. So this is all about Bianca Chapman, and I am just truly blessed to know you in my life. I've already told you, you're awesome. Your mom is awesome. Those who don't know, go to the Atlanta Salsa Congress and you can meet her mom. Yes. Nicest woman in the world. You'll see where Bianca gets her looks and her talent from. All right, gush. Bianca, I know you, of course, from Alma Latina, and then you just took off. But tell me a little bit about your background. Tell me a little bit about you, how you got to where you are now. Just a lot of where it started.
It's so funny. I actually started salsa dancing and bachata dancing to get over a relationship. So that it started off as a hobby, as something that I needed to occupy my time. But I actually grew up with a theater background. So my background is in acting, and it's definitely one of those things that allows me to really express myself on stage. And it's one of the reasons that I really love connecting in social dancing and in performances and on teams.
I'm just going to interrupt you real quick here. So sure. To get over a relationship when you were 6, 8? I mean, come on. You have such a talent that you've been doing it since almost you were walking. So walk is kind of through, theater background in high school, and then you started salsa dancing. I mean, let's get to the nitty gritty, girl.
It's funny because I actually started not as a classical ballet or classical dancer. I started out on drill team. So I was a baton twirler. Big ups to like Jackson State, Jackson Stepperettes. If anybody knows about majorette squads, that's how I started. So we were kicking high, we were marching with the band. I grew up doing that. So in the South, that was our thing. So we didn't have a lot of ballet schools in the South, or not even like hip hop classes back in the day. We had majorette squads. So I was a majorette, and I am so proud of that background.
There you go.
But I did that, but at the same time, I had stopped dancing when I went to college. So in high school and college, I started doing more theater. And dance was already a part of my life. It's a part of my culture. It's a part of my family. My mom was a classically trained ballerina. So it was something that we always surrounded ourselves with. My dad absolutely loved jazz music and Latin jazz. So I grew up listening to salsa, but not ever really dancing it until I became an adult. So fast forward past college, I remember loving salsa music, and I used to go out a little bit in college. And so finally, I said, you know what? I need to get over this dude. I need to get over this relationship. I need something that could help me focus.
And was this in Mississippi, or was this now in California?
This was in Cali. So I was actually in graduate school. So I have a master's in poetry and literature. That's something that a lot of the dancers don't know about me.
No. Okay. I'm jumping, but watch the Reno Salsa Festival. There's a poetry there written by Bianca Chapman, read by Bianca Chapman. Listen to it. If you do not do anything else, find it, listen to it. You will cry. You will be proud to be part of something, and she wrote it, and it's beautiful. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, thank you so much. And it was so funny because I had the opportunity, big ups to BB, Kiki, Sergio, all of them, to really integrate the things that I love the most, which is poetry and dancing. That's really my jam. So it's funny that I actually ended up mixing those two because that was my background before I started really getting into salsa dance. I was studying to get my master's degree in poetry and creative writing. And I needed to get over this breakup. So I started salsa dancing. And I actually started out just, dancing in clubs and stuff. And someone told me about a local team in San Diego called Positive Energy. And I started dancing with them. And it was just a fun team. Everyone was so cool. We were like a family. And then I started competing in amateur competitions. And that's how I met the amazing family known as Alma Latina.
Yes.
And it's a really funny story how I ended up on their team. So I actually got third place in their amateur competition. I didn't even know what competitions were back then. I just did it for fun. And I was rooting for everyone, just like I do now. I don't believe in this whole rivalry thing. I root for everybody.
Okay.
So I won third place, and that was part of the prize was getting lessons with Alma Latina. And it was really funny because I contacted Gabby and Sergio to see, hey, what lessons should I try? Should I come to the amateur classes? And Gabby said, no, you're coming to the semi-pro team. And I said, oh, to the classes? Because I didn't know what these teams were. And she was like, no, to the rehearsals. So that was just the beginning of just so many adventures with that beautiful family. So I started out on a really fun family with a really fun team, and then ended up transferring to a really, really, really amazingly artistic, competitive team. So I've been in some great dance families.
So yes, for sure. So I'm just going to pause again. Another story, another Bianca Chapman. She's a wonderful human being story. My daughter, Gabriella, was she wasn't competing. She was performing in Puerto Rico, but we needed an outfit. I was a single mom. I couldn't afford an outfit. So I put out some feelers for, hey, anybody have a dress that they're not using? Or do you mind if Gabriella, uses it and I'll bring it back to you? And that lady right there, Bianca Chapman, gave me 3 outfits. And she was like, here, try them on, see which one she likes, practice with them, see which one feels comfortable, bring it back when you're done. Nobody else did that except for Bianca Chapman. So thank you so much. She ended up performing in Puerto Rico with one of your outfits. And so thank you so much. Because that's the kind of person that you are. Hey, I need a little bit of help. How can I help you? You're the first one there just offering. If you have, we have. And so God bless you. Thank you so much for saving us. Okay, moving on. So Alma Latina was no, thank you. So Alma Latina was the majority of your professional career then was with Alma Latina, and then I know they split up and they went their separate ways. So you went with Sergio. Is that when you became truly professional? Because I'm trying to keep the timeline right. Were you professional before that, or?
Technically, I was probably considered a professional about 2 years into my time with Alma Latina. It kind of, honestly, Brenda, it sped. It was so fast. And partly because I started competing with them. So I started after my first year with Alma Latina, I started competing with their professional team from California and then with Sergio. So Gabby, Sergio, they were the directors of the team. And Gabby came up with she was watching us teach a class one day because I had to do that as my work study. And she just came up with the idea to, hey, why don't you guys start competing together? And I said, okay. And Sergio said, okay. And so we started competing and we did really well. The first competition, we got second place in Bachata. And that blew my mind because I had just started dancing. I was dancing for a little bit, but not long enough that I even knew what the competition world was. So after that, everything just sped up. So after I was technically definitely a professional after winning second place in the
After winning
professional
second
division.
place.
So there was no turning back then.
Right.
But you know
So
what?
was it your career then? I mean, like, because you mentioned that you went to master's school. Were you working and trying to still dance, or did you give up
I still
your
do. I
career?
still do. I do. I have always done it all. I have always done it all. I started out with my master's, or I was getting my master's when I first started salsa dancing. When I started competing, I was still, I started teaching in colleges. So I was teaching part time as an adjunct professor, and part time I started teaching and performing and competing as a salsa and bachata dancer. And I still do the same thing. So I never gave up on either of my dreams. Part of my dream
Wow.
is to give back to my community through teaching writing and communication and psychology. The other part of my dream is to be an artist, to be a dance artist, to be a performance artist, to help other artists grow by being a teacher in dance. So I never gave up either of my dreams, and they keep me very balanced and very whole. And they help each other too. You know, my job as a teacher in colleges helps me to become a better teacher and a better connector in the dance world. And then vice versa. Because I'm an artist, it just opens up so many doors for me in other avenues of my life. So
I
I
want to
don't
go to
know.
your school. I want to go to your school and just take your class. Like, what are you teaching? Where you teach at? Let me know. I don't care. I'm not going to make a career of it. I just want to sit in your class and be like,
No, no, it's wonderful. I honestly, right now, I'm teaching all on the internet because of COVID. Now I only work with online programs, and it's a blessing because it allows
oh,
me to really get out and do everything I can do with dance and still be able to manage and balance my other
oh,
teaching obligations. So
yeah. Well, that kind of
it
works
works
in
out.
line. That works
Oh,
out.
girl, yes.
So we're going to take a real quick break, but before we do, just to let you know what's coming up, we're going to talk about what you were doing during COVID, because I don't think you were teaching. I don't think you were dancing. So let's see if we learned any new hobbies and just kind of go from there. Let's take a real quick break, and we'll be back with Bianca Chapman.
Ah, ya estoy en zona, tranquilo que ya llegué. Dice, vamos allá. Ya estoy en zona, tranquilo que ya llegué. Repítelo. Y como vengo, ya estoy en zona, tranquilo que ya llegué. Ya se comenta en el barrio, existe preocupación de que no estoy en escena. Dejen el chisme, por Dios. Todas las mujeres de la fiesta tienen que bailar conmigo. Dale vuelta y bailalo a mi estilo. Tienen que bailar conmigo. Saco a tu pareja pa' que baile conmigo. Tienen que bailar conmigo. ¡Chao! Right.
Hello, welcome back, everybody. So don't forget Las Vegas Salsa Congress, 4th of July weekend, Tropicana Hotel. Passes and hotel rates do go up on June 1st, so go ahead and get your passes. Thank you. Go ahead and get your passes now before the prices go up. Tickets.superwednesday.live and look us up, buy your passes, and you can see this woman over here, Bianca Chapman, world champion, world renowned Bianca Chapman, just lovely lady. So let's talk a little bit about what you did during COVID. Like, what was the last thing? Where were you? Were you at a Congress? Because I literally flew in from Puerto Rico. Thank God for the Día Nacional de Puerto Rico. And the next Monday, everything. So where were you?
God.
What's your story?
It's funny because I remember we were just talking about this before we started the show. My last Congress was the last traveling I did right before COVID, the shutdown started. And I was in Atlanta, Georgia with the Atlanta Salsa Congress. Big
Yes.
ups to Eric and his whole team. I love you guys so much.
This
And
whole thing.
ATL, Atlanta is actually my hometown, or it's where I was
Oh.
born. My hometown, I grew up in Mississippi, but I was actually born in Atlanta. So that's a Congress that's dear to my heart. And I was there, and Atlanta is the home of CDC. You guys, that's the Center of Disease Control. So people were already wearing masks. We were freaked out. The whole Congress, we're looking around. We don't know what's going on. Flights are getting canceled all over the place. It was a lot.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I was getting home from that. I was already a little bit on edge. And so when I got home, as soon as I returned home, all of a sudden, the shutdown happened really quickly. For a while, we didn't think it was going to last that long. I thought I was going to be able to go to my next Congress that next month. I thought I was going to Ecuador in June. I mean, there were so many questions in the air. But all in all, to be honest with you, I am very blessed. I'm very blessed, and my family is very blessed that we made it through COVID and the shutdown with our health and with our, being way more connected than ever. Me and my friends as well. We stay connected to each other virtually. And I was in San Diego, California the entire time, pretty much in my house the entire time. And one of the things that I did take advantage of is the opportunity to grow myself as a physical mover and as a dance artist. So I took a lot of time to just train myself. And then I also ended up getting certified as a yoga teacher.
Wow.
It was an online program. It allowed me to really delve into my meditation more, to do a practice that I already had started doing to strengthen myself and to remain flexible and balanced and grounded in my dance and artistic journey. So I took advantage of that time we had when we didn't have anything really else to do other than I was still working as a college professor.
Okay.
Thank goodness. For a little bit before things like shut down completely. But other than that, I wasn't able to teach it as dancing, other than every once in a while I would do online classes and online privates and things like that. But I used that time to really just hone in on the things that I love. So I practiced my Spanish a little bit more. I became certified as a yoga teacher and really, really took the opportunity to connect with my friends and my family more, because I think sometimes when we get really busy, we as artists, we as dancers, we need to remember to remain connected to the community that's growing us and supporting and nurturing us. So that's what I did.
One of the beautiful stories, and we'll have Fernando Sosa's interview, I think in 3 weeks. Don't quote me on that, but we recorded his interview that we'll be showing live in 3 weeks from Atlanta. And one of the things that he said is, I stayed home and I connected to my family and my kids. They made me laugh like I hadn't laughed in such a long time. And we did things together. And he's like, I just have such a true appreciation because, Fernando Sosa, he's every weekend somewhere except for his house, except for home. And so for him to spend that time with his family, he says it was a blessing. I mean, granted, nobody thought that it would be 2 years, but it was just a blessing. So you're not a chef. I'm looking for the person who went to culinary school
not at all.
to learn how to cook.
Not
Okay.
at all.
All
I became very fit, doing a lot of yoga during that time. I mean, my arms and my shoulders are way probably fitter than they used to be. But no, I don't think my cooking skills improved at all. I'm okay. I'm not horrible, but I don't think they improved.
All right. So let me get this straight. We owe all of this to a man who left you years ago, because back when is that the honest truth? Like, it really took that heartbreak in order for you to get on this trajectory.
And I tell people all of the time, when you think a window is closing in your life, just understand that is an opportunity for you to delve into all of the multitudes of possibilities and opportunities that the universe has to give you. I mean, honestly, and even as dancers and as artists, I think we always have to be mindful of how we can use the experiences we go through to feed into our art, to feed into why we love doing this so much, why we love this music, why we connect so much with the dance form that requires us to be so connected to each other. And I think using those emotional experiences to feed you, to nurture you, to give you wisdom, to give you growth, and then putting that all on the dance floor, putting that all on the stage, putting that all into whatever it is that you do with this art form, whether it's that you're supporting other people who are performing, or if you're teaching people, or if you're taking classes. All of this is really ultimately about connection. And sometimes you go through those experiences to connect to yourself so that you can further connect with other people.
With other people, absolutely. Talking about connecting with other people and a heartbreak that led you here, relationship status. We'll make it really quick. You don't have to delve into it. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I have a boyfriend. He's actually he's a social dancer. He doesn't perform or anything like that. He once did, I think, way back in the day. But yeah, he's a social dancer. He lives here in San Diego. We actually started out as friends. So we met in the salsa scene. And it's so funny because it's one of those things I never thought about dating really in the salsa scene when I first started, because that was like my step away from dating. But it's really nice when you open yourself up to people and you have the opportunity to connect and you make friends, because really, honestly, my friends became family for me. The people I've met through salsa, I am so close to them now, and he's one of them. So I'm really blessed.
Well, congratulations. And people ask me, why are you asking that? It's none of our business. The reason why I ask is because, there are some people who are open to lots of things, especially what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. And I'm just putting some boundaries around taken, not taken, single, attached. So I just put it out there for men to just kind of be like, oh, darn. But I got to tell you, I'm sure it's going to be great. And I'll be praying that it does. But I can't imagine that if he breaks your heart, what happens next? Like you're really going to, we get to that to get you here. Like, what could actually, but talking about that in all honesty, what is your next? What do you hope for the future? What's next? What's your next?
I am super excited about all of the dreams that I have for myself as a dancer and as a teacher. So my next steps right now, is to travel and get out as much as possible. Because first of all, we were shut down for 2 years. But I am really excited about the opportunity that I've had to really travel and to take the time to connect with other cultures. So for me, and especially because I got to do that a lot as a dancer, but sometimes when you're dancing and when you're working, you don't really have the opportunity to delve into the places and the geographies that you go to. Right. So I am really excited about the opportunity to travel more, connect with more cultures, feed my artistic creativity even more, to train even harder, to work with more partners, and to be a part of different projects. I am still praying and hoping, Gabby already knows this, that I want an Alma Latina reunion. I'm telling you, I want so many things to happen. So I am going to be working on new projects, working with different people. I'm super excited about what's to come. And I'm going to be doing more teaching, more traveling, and definitely starting to enterprise a little bit more, and starting to integrate the idea of writing and poetry with dance, because it's something that I've been wanting to do for so long. And I'm really happy that I have the opportunity to start working with people to make those things happen. I want to perform more, do more solo stuff.
And again, I'm throwing it out there. Reno Salsa Festival closing show. I don't know what it's called, but just look it up. I don't know where it is, but just find it, do it. You won't be disappointed. I promise you. Bianca, so you'll be performing in Vegas with Sergio. Is that right? Okay. Is it a new routine? Is it something that you guys have worked on since COVID? Oh, can you hear me? Oops. We lost Bianca, and that's what happened on live TV. You're muted. You can't hear me saying that. This is great. Live TV. Oops. Can you hear me? Oh. And uh-oh. Unmute yourself. You can do it. Nope. And that's what happened on live TV. You never know what's going to happen. Bianca's going to start pressing buttons and like be there and not be there and mute herself and maybe unmute herself. And
excellent. So it's funny. My mom just called, and so when she was calling,
oh, Mom, stop calling. Mom, stop calling. Bianca's on the phone. She's doing an interview.
Oh, my mom. She's my best friend, but she's also the person who probably I talk to the most, but she's also the person that we talk all the time. So if she ever has something to tell me, she's like, I have to tell her. Okay, so the last thing I heard you say, or last thing I heard you ask was I'm performing in the Las Vegas Salsa Congress with Serbia.
Yes. So do you have a new routine? Because I remember seeing that Gilberto Santa Rosa routine and I loved it. Now, he is my favorite artist. Like, this is not about me, but I'm going to share it anyways. I was on the salsa cruise and Tita and Tamara were standing next to him. So I went over there and they said, oh, let's take a picture together. And so I'm like, okay, but I don't want to stand next to him. So Tita was like, oh, okay. So they put me over here and then they scooted me and they kept on moving me over where I was standing next to Gilberto Santa Rosa. And in the picture, I am crying, like ugly crying because I'm just like, and then
I get it.
This part is just hilarious. He says, it's okay, vas a estar bien. And I said, no me hables, don't talk to me. I'm like, don't talk to me, no me hables. I just couldn't take it. I was just freaking out. I got out of there. I was just so nervous. But anyways, I'm so sorry. So I love the song. I love the music. I love the musicality. Love. But just asking, do you guys have something new since then?
Yes.
Have you guys been?
Yes. We actually just debuted our new bachata number at the Chicago Salsa and Bachata Festival last month. So that was our debut of that routine, and so we'll be presenting it or performing it again at the Vegas Congress. So we're really excited about that, and really excited about performing again as well. Awesome.
Now you will be a judge as well. Is this your first time judging? I'm not really sure.
Oh no.
No, you've done this before.
I'm pretty sure I judged in Vegas before too, as well.
It's been 2 years. I got married since then. I've forgotten everything about my life pre-marriage.
No problem.
So I have to start again. So you'll be judging in Vegas, and so you're comfortable with that. You are comfortable with being true to yourself and to the competitors, of being genuine and giving them constructive feedback. You're partial.
I've actually, I can't even remember the first competition I judged, but I probably have been judging for about 8 or 9 years now.
Oh my.
And I've judged at local competitions, regional competitions, national ones. I've judged a lot because my career started, like I said before, it started as a competitor. The first thing I did was competing before I did anything else as a professional. And it's one of those things where I'm really happy I started the way I did, because I don't look at competition as something in which an artist needs to feel down about themselves. I'm very, very strict about the fact that I want every single dancer to understand that when you enter a competition, this is about your own personal journey, your own personal growth. And you're already entering this competition at a heightened state of artistic awareness and mindfulness. And what this competition brings to you is just greater awareness of yourself, of how different people look at your work, how you can grow and experiment with different things. But I'm very strict about the fact that I don't want artists or competitors to walk away feeling down or negative about any of their results. Because ultimately, what you have to remember is that there are artists on the board who are giving you feedback, giving you critique, but giving this based on the criteria. So it's not about our personal taste. It's not about what we like or what we don't like. It's about how you fulfill those different criteria and how different people may look at your work and how they interpret your work and how they interpret growth in terms of your worth. So if you look at it from that positive perspective about, hey, this is an opportunity for me to get some feedback about how much I've grown and that I've already grown, I'm giving this my best. I think that competition ends up being something that no matter what the results are, you come out of it with a heightened sense of confidence.
Wow,
so I'm
that's
really,
awesome.
yeah, I'm really big on that because I really want dancers to feel like they are succeeding no matter what the competition brings. So
Awesome. So wrapping this up now, what's one of your favorite things about the Las Vegas Super Congress, which is the whole reason we have the show?
Oh my gosh, it's so many things. So you know what's funny? My favorite thing about Las Vegas are the performances, the dance performances. You know, I don't get me wrong, the bands are always bomb. The social dancing, oh. Okay, first of all, I'm a huge social dancing fan. That's still my favorite thing to do at a Congress. You can find me on the social dance floor the entire night. But the shows, I mean, watching the shows on that stage, watching my peers, watching new people, watching teams, watching couples, watching solos, watching the dance shows, no matter what kind of dancer you are, is so inspiring. So that's my favorite.
Serena Cuevas said the exact same thing. It's the shows in
Really?
Las Vegas. She said the exact same thing. She says it's just, we bring in, big headliners like Bianca Chapman.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, she loves it. She says just, the shows. I mean, it just, we bring top tier people and it's just so beautiful to, that's where a lot of people started on the Las Vegas, salsa, show on the stage. And so they did it. Anyways, we do have to wrap this up, but it has been just so much fun to be around you again. And I say this every time, but Bianca, seriously, I'm going to see you and I'm going to cry. So please hold me and just kind of bear with me until I'm ready to let you go and get back to work in Vegas and stuff. But I love you. I adore you. I'm so grateful for your existence in my life and my daughter's life. You make a difference. Please don't ever forget that. Reno showdown final performance, something. Look for it. You won't be disappointed. It is awesome. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you. And we will see all of you. Las Vegas Salsa Congress.